Welcome back to Tip-Off Tales, everyone. This is the podcast from the Peak Tales, where we explore the pivotal moments and legendary figures that shaped basketball history. I'm Maya.
And I'm J.D., back and ready to lay down some undeniable truths. Maya, that first episode on The Shot? Pure electricity. But Today we're tackling something so monumental, it wasn't just a moment, it was an entire era that, and I'm dead serious here, literally dragged the NBA back from the edge of obscurity.
That's a bold claim, JD, but one with considerable merit. We're diving deep into what many consider the greatest and most impactful rivalry in all of sports, Lakers versus Celtics, focusing on that incredible spark, that initial explosion of talent brought by two once-in-a-lifetime players, Irvin Magic Johnson and Larry the Legend Bird.
Saved the NBA, Maya. Those are powerful words. For the folks listening who maybe weren't around or whose memory's a bit hazy, let's paint that picture. The NBA in the late 70s? It wasn't the global juggernaut we see today, right?
Not by a long shot. The league was facing significant challenges. NBA Finals games were, believe it or not, sometimes broadcast on tape delay. It's almost unimaginable now. There was a serious image problem, a distinct lack of those transcendent, charismatic stars who could truly captivate a national audience. Viewership was declining, and the league's future felt precarious.
Precarious is an understatement. It needed a jolt, a defibrillator paddle to the chest, and then, like a gift from the basketball gods, we got two. Magic, scooped up by the Lakers in '79, and Bird, who the Celtics had drafted in '78, but who played one more year in college before officially joining in '79.
And it's fascinating, JD, because their rivalry was already simmering before they even set foot on an NBA court. That 1979 NCAA Championship game, Magic's Michigan Spartans against Bird's Indiana State Sycamores, was a ratings blockbuster, the most-watched college basketball game in history at that time. It was a tantalizing preview of their individual brilliance and the contrasting styles that would come to define their legendary careers.
Oh, that game was legendary. Magic, all that flair, the no-look dimes, that infectious grin, basically running Showtime before Showtime was even a thing. And then you had Bird, the hick from French Lick, looking all stoic, but a stone-cold killer with that jumper. An unbelievable basketball mind, fundamentally perfect, but with this ruthless competitive fire. Complete opposites. It was like a Hollywood script from day one.
And they landed on the two most storied and historically antagonistic franchises in the entire league, the glamorous, Tinseltown-adjacent Los Angeles Lakers and the gritty, blue-collar, tradition-rich Boston Celtics. It was truly the perfect confluence of factors for an epic rivalry.
Perfect confluence is right. Magic strolls into L.A., rookie season, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's holding court, and what does this kid do? Leads them to an NBA championship. And then in Game 6 of the Finals, with Kareem out injured, he starts at center and drops 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. As a rookie, Maya, can you even comprehend that?
I was an astonishing debut, no question. Meanwhile, up in Boston, Larry Bird was having a similarly transformative effect on the Celtics. They won 32 more games than the previous season with him on the roster, and he deservedly took home Rookie of the Year honors. The impact both players had was immediate and incredibly profound.
So you've got these two young titans on these two Mount Rushmore-level franchises, and suddenly the whole league just starts buzzing. It wasn't just about the local Boston or LA fans anymore. All of a sudden, Lakers versus Celtics, Magic versus Bird meant something to everyone.
They spent their first few years in the league building their individual legacies, racking up accolades. But the real fireworks, those direct, high-stakes confrontations in the NBA Finals, truly ignited in 1984. That series, JD, was an absolute battle.
A 7-game war zone. Celtics took it. It was brutal, so physical. McHale close-lining Kurt Ramsey, that image is seared into my memory. The oppressive heat, the sheer intensity in the Boston Garden. The Lakers had their moments, but Boston was just tougher. That series absolutely set the tone for the entire decade.
It certainly did, and it became potent fuel for Magic and the Lakers. They returned with a vengeance in '85, facing the Celtics in the finals once more. This time, the Lakers managed to exorcise some long-standing demons, becoming the first visiting team ever to clinch a championship on the sacred Boston Garden floor. Kareem, at 35 years old, was named Finals MVP, a truly monumental achievement.
Showtime was in full, glorious effect. Magic was out there conducting a symphony, but Bird and those Celtics, they weren't just going to roll over. They bounced right back and won it all in '86 against the Houston Rockets. That rivalry was always just simmering, always present.
And then came 1987. Lakers, Celtics, the NBA Finals again. Game 4, Boston Garden. Magic Johnson's Junior Skyhook, or the Baby Hook, as it's more famously known, over the outstretched arms of McHale and Parrish, a game winner. That shot, JD, is undeniably one of the defining images of their entire rivalry.
Legendary. That little running hook, the absolute stunned silence in the Garden. Bird just standing there, hands on his hips, watching it drop. You could feel the power shift right there. Lakers win that series, and Magic is on top of the basketball world. That intense rivalry, those 3 epic finals matchups in just 4 years, Maya, that's what truly catapulted the NBA into a new stratosphere.
So let's circle back to your initial assertion, JD, saved the NBA. How specifically did this rivalry, these two players, achieve such a monumental feat?
It's a whole cocktail of reasons, Maya. 1, unadulterated star power. You had 2 of the most charismatic, uniquely skilled, and utterly compelling athletes on the entire planet going head-to-head primetime. People tuned in specifically to watch them. 2, the built-in narrative. You had the perceived black versus white dynamic, though both players transcended that. East Coast establishment versus West Coast cool. Showtime flash and flair versus Celtics grit and grind. It was a ready-made, captivating storyline that the media and fans absolutely ate up. 3, the television factor. David Stern, who became commissioner in '84, was a visionary. He understood the immense power of this rivalry. Ratings didn't just climb, they skyrocketed. The NBA became a national television spectacle, not just a series of regional broadcasts. 4, sheer inspiration. They inspired an entire generation of future NBA stars. Michael Jordan himself has said that watching Magic and Bird battle it out fueled his own incredible competitive fire.
Those are all incredibly valid points, JD. This significantly increased revenue from those television deals allowed the league to expand, player salaries to rise, and the overall quality and presentation of the product to improve dramatically. Magic and Bird made basketball undeniably cool again, culturally relevant on a scale it hadn't seen in years. They weren't just phenomenal players, they were cultural icons who genuinely moved the needle for the entire sport.
No question about it. And it wasn't just about on-court animosity, though believe me, there was plenty of that. Off the court, there was this begrudging respect that over time actually blossomed into a genuine friendship. That added another fascinating layer to the whole saga, especially after Bird's retirement. You remember that Converse commercial they did together?
A classic. It humanized them, showed a different dimension to these fierce competitors. Their impact wasn't just measured in wins, losses, or championships. It was in how they elevated the entire sport, its public perception, and its business model. They truly laid the essential groundwork for the global phenomenon the NBA has become today.
No question about it. Without Magic and Bird, without that incredible Lakers-Celtics rivalry blazing through the '80s, who knows where the NBA would be right now? It could be a very, very different landscape. They weren't just stars, Maya. They were saviors. Flat out, period.
A powerful assertion indeed, JD, but one that is strongly supported by historical evidence. The rivalry between Magic Johnson's Lakers and Larry Bird's Celtics throughout the 1980s was far more than just exceptional basketball. It was a true cultural touchstone, a significant business catalyst, and, as you so passionately put it, a genuine lifeline for the league.
Absolutely legendary stuff. Kind of miss those intense showdowns, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And on that nostalgic note, that's all the time we have for this episode of Tip-Off Tales. We sincerely hope you enjoyed this journey back to a golden era of basketball.
Hey, don't forget to smash that subscribe button on the Peak Tales YouTube channel. Hit that like, drop us a comment down below. Let us know your all-time favorite Magic versus Bird moment. And the big question, who do you think was ultimately better? We absolutely want to hear your takes.
And please join us next time on Tip-Off Tales as we unearth another pivotal and fascinating story from the rich tapestry of NBA history. We've got a what-if scenario lined up that involves a certain high-profile draft pick in Portland that could have rewritten NBA history as we know it. You definitely won't want to miss that one.
Ooh, now that sounds like a can't-miss episode. Until then, Hoops fans, keep it locked and keep those debates raging.
Loved this episode of Tip-Off Tales? Hit subscribe to the Peak Tales on YouTube so you don't miss our next deep dive.
And smash that like button if you enjoyed the story.
Thanks so much for listening in. Find us on Instagram at The Peak Tales and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read them all.
All right, catch you on the next one, Hoopheads.
See you soon, everyone.